Greetings, gamer guys and gals. Welcome to part 25 of my Let's Play Fire Emblem 5, Thracia 776, and in today's episode we are in the blind, in the fog, dealing with the Dacia Bandits. And this chapter is kind of very interesting. First and foremost, we are going to be using another warp use, and taking Ocean all the way over here. Gaining a full level up on Safi. Very nice. Don't understand exactly why Safi has a 30% strength growth. I kind of wish that strength would work sort of like Constitution in this game for magic and magical weapons and stuff like that. I think that that would have been a great thing, and if I've said on numerous occasions that Thracia is one of my favorite games of all time. And I think it's near to perfect. The two biggest flaws in this game that I find are actually the level of the not having enough game modes, particularly not having a hard difficulty, this, that, or the other, and that the big bads of this game are kind of weak. But I would say that aside from that, this game is pretty well close to flawless. There are things that could use changing. Little Monsters patch makes some of those changes pretty great. So we're going over here and checking out Ocean. Now, Ocean, we gave him a whole boatload of scrolls. This will come into effect shortly, just not at this moment. But one of the reasons why we wanted our good old busted Ocean over here, he's only a level 9 hero, and he already has nearly 4 stats maxed, which is pretty incredible. It's also fantastic in my humble opinion. So we have a boss here, Salem. He's not really all that strong, but any of your units that have less than 8 magic, he can just put to sleep. And we have no restore staff. We have nothing that can deal with this. It has infinite range and puts a target with lower magic to sleep. Enemies on thrones or gates are immune. So gates and thrones actually heal status, even if you somehow can status an enemy, which is another reason why I think it's kind of weird that you can't poison in this game. So he's not really all that strong. He's a Loptrian mage. He's the very first boss we've seen of this, but we've actually seen much stronger Loptrians to this point, which is kind of intriguing. So what I do here is I go with Ocean and I capture. And this is not super reliable. I am basically betting on a critical of sorts. Wow. If I was just doing a little bit more damage. Man, this is... Well, I am going to... Oh, actually, no. I'm going to quadruple here, so that's not that big of a deal. So I'm actually going to hit him 4 times at 10 damage each. So I have to hit at least 3. With 73 hit, that's going to be rough. But we have to try because we need to get this guy out of here. So Salem has like a 50% chance to act every turn. So sometimes you'll go turn after turn after turn and he won't sleep anybody. But, being honest, it's just better to take him out. Be gone from our forest, invaders. Alright. We missed one. That's not good. We missed 2. And he did not. Alright, so what I will do... Salem doesn't have any means of healing himself. What I will do is if he puts somebody to sleep next turn, or this turn, I should say, I'm going to have to reset. Because whatever unit that he puts to sleep will literally be useless the rest of this chapter. The rest of this chapter. No joke. No fooling. He's just totally useless. Alright, do we have any... Okay, we do have the torch staff on Asbel. We need to use that right away, so we can get some view on our enemies. I like how units will get a stat, even if it's capped, they never go over. So, you know, he's got 20 magic, but he's actually kind of nuts. I cannot believe how strong my Asbel is. I've never had an Asbel this strong. Never. Not even once. Let's see. Fergus is going to go down here and deal with some enemies, as well as Olwen is going to try to join him. Alright. And we'll just equip you. We're going to mount up with Olwen and use the luck ring. We should probably equip something that's not the Dire Thunder. We don't necessarily want to waste that at this moment. Alright, so now she has 8 luck, which is pretty okay. The actual boss of this game is revealed by our Torch Staff. It's one of the reasons why I moved Asbel up like I did and used it. Kolho. He is kind of nuts. A little bit wild, in fact. So there is a way that you can capture him in this game, which is super, super easy. We're not going to worry about that. I will be stealing that Vantage and Vulnerary manual. Well, the Vantage manual and the Vulnerary. You kind of want to definitely steal those because this is the only Vantage manual you get in the game to give to one of your teammates. What's so great about Vantage, as we saw with Halvin, is that it gives one of your teammates the ability to just say, I'm going to not care about who's attacking me first, which is pretty great. Alright, so we can attack here with the Iron Lance. Karen has pretty well no worry of being hit here. She is such a strong unit at this current time. 20 speed and 20 luck. She has 65 base avoid. This is not counting the support that Fergus gives her, which is pretty strong. I love the fact that her magic is so good. It would just be nice to get her to B rank swords. I think I would dismount her in this chapter to get some sword rank, but the problem with that is I need her to fly around. So we're not going to worry about that too much. One thing that's very interesting about these brigands here is all the brigands that have their axes facing to the left have the steal skill. So if user outspeeds a target, can steal an item with less weight. These folks here all have like next to no speed. You're very unlikely to see this happen. Just very unlikely. Doesn't mean it's not possible, but it's just unlikely for it to be something you need to worry about. We do want to move Laura up as well because this beauty right here is going to be stealing from Kolho because she has 20 speed and nobody can really match that speed. I mean, she's quite a bit more powerful and busted than our friend Lithus. I do actually want some experience points on Laura as well this chapter, as much as we can possibly get before next, because next chapter is when she gets her fabled promotion.
Look alive, lads. Seems some fresh game have wandered our way. Keep quiet and moving till close, then do 'em in. Whatever valuables they got, we all split equally. What? Oh, don't tell me you lot are worried about what Pern will say. Look, don't go thinking we need his permission. I'll take care of Pern myself. He won't be a problem no more. The rest of you, while you're dealing with those travelers, go after the villages and take anything worth carrying.
All right. So some of these axe users are absolutely not going to go for villages. I actually believe that the only ones that will are the ones who have their axes to the left, the ones that have the steel skill. I think you have to have the steel skill as an enemy in order to burn down villages and stuff like that in an actual chapter. We saw it before in chapter 2 that pirates were doing that, but the problem is that those pirates don't actually have the steel skill. It was more or less like something that we saw in a cinematic, because this game doesn't really have quote-unquote cinematics. not in the way that you would normally be used to with like modern games, because this is a game that was made on a Super Nintendo.
What's all that noise? What's wrong?
The villagers around here are being raided by bandits, that's what. Everyone's scared to death that they'll come here next.
Are they the local bandit group I've heard the villagers mention?
No, that's the dandelion you're thinking of, and they would never stoop to plundering a village like this. Matter of fact, they've even helped us when we needed it. Can't be the dandelion, I'd bet me life on it. It must be them rough types that turned up here not too long ago.
Well, whoever they are, you don't need to worry. I'll protect every last one of you.
What in blazes are you thinking? You look an awful lot like me daughter, you know. A pretty little thing like you can't expect to go toe-to-toe with bandits.
No, I'm a swordswoman, a myrmidon, like my mother before me. I'm the daughter of Avel of Fianna. No mere bandit could defeat me.
All right, so it's our turn. Salem did not act, and he did not attack. Now, Salem is not going to attack Ocean. There's just no chance because of how strong Ocean is. One thing I will say here is that we are definitely going to try to capture again, but how much damage is he doing? Yeah, way more than we have of health. So if we miss 2 times, which is not likely, but it is quite possible, we could just kiss our Ocean goodbye. So we're going to physic him up. And Safi gets a whole nother level up. Now in Paragon mode, Safi doesn't actually truly need Paragon. Truly, on regular, I give her Paragon, but it's the reason why I give it to her on Paragon mode is because it doesn't really matter. You don't need it for any of your offensive units who can take out swaths of enemies. So we're going to finish capturing Salem here. We only need to hit him once, which is fantastic. And now that we have him captured, Ocean is going to be quite a bit weakened for a couple of turns until we get Merida over there. Merida. She is my favorite combat unit in the game, and definitely one of top 5 best in this game if you train her. Now, she doesn't come as a top 5 best, but neither does Asbel, and I would dare say Asbel is top 5 as well. She also comes with one of the best swords in this entire game, preferential to her. 70 hit, 11 might, 20 crit, 1 range, 6 weight. It's Merida only, times 2. This is a brave weapon. High critical rate, and it gives her the Nihil skill. We're going to be going over that weapon skill soon. She has a bonkers 5 follow-up critical modifier. She's a Myrmidon, so she is going to have good crit. As you can see right now, she has 27 already. This is without any bonuses. This is without any supports. She doesn't have too many supports, if I'm not mistaken, but it doesn't really matter. She doesn't need it. Her growths are insane. 65% HP, 60% strength, 15% magic, 75% skill, 80% speed, 60% luck, 20% defense, 10% con, and 3% movement. She is my favorite growth unit in this entire game. Just bar none. Swords are incredible in this game. Beyond belief, they are the best weapons in this game, bar none. Now, every other weapon type in this game is useful, but swords are still bar none the best. And she is incredible. She's going to be one of our busted units that we go ahead and use as much as possible. She is going to use a bit of that Merida sword to get some KOs. And going further into her stats here, she has 1 Vigor Star. Not as much as her mother, but still enough. I appreciate always a unit who has Vigor Stars. D rank in swords plus 10 sounds like it would be very bad, but she will get a whole nother rank upon promotion. So by the time you promote her, it's very likely that she's going to have C rank already, and then she's going to have B rank. Now with 6 movement, you'd think that's not all that great, but I'm almost certain that all Myrmidons upon promotion get +2 when they're promoting to a Swords Master in movement. Now, I don't know that for a fact, but I do know that Avel has 8 movement. So we're going to find out. It's been a little while, so we'll see. Now, she comes with 2 skills. Nihil, which is a weapon skill, negates all enemy combat skills except for Nihil itself. So, or Nihil, I should say. This is an impressive skill. It's a weapon skill, and it's something that makes me want to make sure that I don't use up the Merida sword completely, because there are certain endgame bosses that are just ridiculously busted, and anybody who has Nihil has just an extreme advantage. She is one of the best boss killers in this game because of this weapon and because of this skill. And it's not even one of her actual skills, which sounds kind of terrible, but hey, you know what? She's got this sword, it's got 60 uses, we have a Hermern staff if we needed it. So, I think that's perfectly fine. Now, she comes with Luna, which is a skill % chance for an attack to ignore enemy's defense. This means that your defense just becomes 0 as the enemy. Just literally 0. So even right now, with her attack being only 14, without criticals, she could do massive damage to even like endgame enemies, like right now. Now, she wouldn't take much from them because they're all super strong, but it doesn't really matter. Now, she's standing on a village that we actually want to be visited by a different unit, so that's exactly what we are going to be doing, is not letting her visit. And then move Olwen down. We are going to go ahead and attack this brigand. And we're going to move Fergus on the house. We're not going to... Well, we could visit the house with Fergus, like, next turn. But we're not going to necessarily need to visit with Fergus, so we'll see. We'll see. Let's see what we can do here. 17, well, that's not exactly a KO. We don't want to waste the Paragon Sword, but it's not like a big deal if we did. With that being said, I think we're going to go ahead and attack. Why not? And she crits. We do need her to have as much experience points as possible before the next chapter. Especially if we are actually wanting to get all those levels before promotion. Finn can just go here and attack this guy at range. And we'll move Lithus up. We could go here and attack with the Iron Bow on one of these guys. Clearing them out is kind of useful. It's not something that is necessary, because we do have plenty of units that can take care of them all. But, you know. We do have the Ode Scroll on Lithus. Now, I do like the arena here. We do have an arena that we can visit. We have a vendor and a house. I'm probably going to go in that, but likely... Now, I am going to go in with Dagdar. He's going to get the Ode Scroll when I do. We can attack here, and then I'm going to put Karen on that house for the time being. Karen's not going to stay over here, though. I just want her to block off the house just in case. And Fergus will likely take out all the bandits down here until Olwen gets here and she can help out. Fergus doesn't need the experience points. Olwen does, especially because we are definitely going to be using Olwen. She is a fantastic, wonderful unit beyond belief, especially when you give her certain things. Now, if you notice that she has the Dire Thunder Tome, which weighs her down a lot. There is actually a combination that we're going to get relatively soon that allows us to take full advantage of the Dire Thunder Tome and not have to worry about whether or not we are going to get hit. One thing I do want to do is put Ocean on the gate so that none of these bandits will attack him anymore. We are going to firstly... No, we can't reach yet. So I guess what we could do is trade her over all the scrolls. Then we could trade the Jormungandr and the sleep and then we are not going to release him. Do not, whatever you do not release. Absolutely do not release Salem. And you'll see why soon. You can probably tell why, but I'm not going to spoil the fun. Alright, so we're not attacking twice, unfortunately. So I'm just going to use Dire Thunder here. And unfortunately, we do have to heal her up. So she does not die. Well, Safi, that's a very disappointing level you got there. And Laura is just critting away. We are going to move the rest of our units away because I would like it if Laura was the one attacked here. And we are also going to move Karen down because we want to move her way down in just a few. The vendor here sells wind tomes, which is one of the reasons why we wanted so much gold by this point. I am going to be buying as much wind tomes, as many as I possibly can. We're actually just going to go ahead and sell this short sword. We don't need it. I'm going to buy a bunch of wind tomes. Alright, so we're full on that. We can trade. And we're also going to buy a few. We're gonna buy a few. We can get rid of the fire. I don't think we need the fire. We're gonna keep that actually, just in case I want to use fire later on in the game. It's probably not likely ever going to come into effect. Getting meteor, for instance, is just not really all that useful. All right. With that being said, we can trade. I almost don't want to use Dagdar for the arena. I might use Finn instead. Alright. Yeah, Owen needs the experience points, but I also just don't want her getting hit, so. And we shall end our turn. The big reason why we brought Olwen to this chapter was so that we could use the luck ring and also visit the house Merida comes out of. Because the reality is that that house has two separate items you can get. One of the reasons I did not visit it with Merida was, well, because it would have made Merida take an extra turn getting up to the Brigands, up to the north. But it would have also given us the wrong item. Something we did not want. So the wrong item is a vulnerary, but the good item can only be gotten by Olwen. I do think it's because Olwen knows the people in that house. I think that's the mindset behind why that's the case. So one cool thing about Mage Knights in this game is that even though their con doesn't matter for things like the tomes, their con matters for like the swords they can use. So when I go ahead and use a sword here, it's going to be much more effective as a weapon to use on Olwen. It's one of the reasons why I gave her the Killing Edge, was so that she could get experience points and get it quickly. Oh, very nice. We don't really need her to have a higher tome rank or a higher sword rank. We do want a higher thunder rank. Let's see, which we can work on. Perfect. And then all we have to do is go here. Now, it's very unlikely that Fergus is going to be attacked. Alright, so we're going to move down here and get closer to that house so we can see it in view. And then we can attack this brigand with Merida. Oh, and she got Luna. So the cool thing about proccing Luna for her is that means that both her attacks on the Merida sword, since it's a brave weapon, will work in conjunction with Luna. So both of those attacks we're going to do 14 damage just flat, without a crit, which is very nice in my opinion. Alright, we do want to buy some more stuff. Can't carry any more here. That is A-okay. Rescue. We're gonna take and drop. I do believe we're going to go ahead and use Finn for the arena. I think that's just smarter. What items do we have? Nothing. So we can actually buy... I don't think we need too many more door keys, but we're just going to buy a few more. We want a bunch of wind, like an actual bunch of wind. Alright, so... Oh, the Ode Scroll is on Dagdar. Let's see. What we could do is take a couple of these items so that we can go ahead and buy some more with Lithus next turn. And then we're going to go to the arena. 780 gold, that looks perfectly fine. Hand on the B button, just in case. Alright, Finn pretty well had that. Pretty well had that down pat. And then we will attack you. Oh, she got magic. That's pretty good. Alright, so... we're going to have to go here. We're not going to use another physic because it's just not necessary. We are going to go down here, however. Because we will need to rescue Olwen very shortly so that we can take her across to gain that item. Alright, Olwen, doing a fantastic job there. Alright, Merida took him out. I think he probably hit her with just a 7 hit, which is wild. She just got a +2 in speed. Wow. Alright, so now with all that being said, well, actually, these guys are not attacking Laura. Must be afraid of that little girl. Alright. Heal you up here. Perfect. It's not like we need anything anyway. And I think we've got plenty of wind and other things of that nature, so I think we're perfectly fine. We are going to give the Ode Scroll to Finn, just in case. And let's visit this house.
I've been waiting for you since I heard the Liberation Army was coming this way. My boy told me all about what happened. We're mighty indebted to you, we are. Take this staff as my way of saying thanks. It can quiet down anyone you point it at. If you ever have kids of your own, it's awful handy for shutting them up when it's nap time.
Oh yeah, that's pretty fantastic. So we get the Silent Staff. Silences a target with lower magic. Enemies on thrones or gates are immune. Alright, so we're going to send the door key to the supply. We are going to heal up. I kind of don't want to heal up Merida, but if she gets hit again, she is probably going to die. I don't know if we even have, like, any more enemies. We shall see about what we're going to do with Merida. Dire Thunder. What about regular Thunder? Alright, she is attacking twice here, so that's nice. She does need the Thunder weapon rank, that's for sure. Very nice level up. And I don't even have any scrolls on her, if I'm not mistaken. No, I don't. And she's just getting pretty darn incredible levels. Yeah, let's go ahead and visit.
Billow and Braggy, you're the ones that helped me grandkid, ain't ya? You've me deepest gratitude, you do. In all my years, I've never... Bah, what am I doing? Heroes like you ain't got time to stand around listening to me yammer on. Take a gander, this scroll is a family heirloom, but a family heirloom don't mean much without a family, and you gave me mine back to me. I'd like you to have it, I would. Won't take no for an answer.
So we get the Heim Scroll, which is exceptionally good. This is the magic scroll of this game. Plus 30% magic, plus 10% luck, minus 10% defense. I don't like the minus 10% defense, but on every unit who would appreciate this, like for instance Olwen here, or someone like Nana, it's not really that big a deal. And it can be bypassed. Alright, so with that being said, I want to thank you for joining me as we continue to battle the Dacia Bandits. We're just about to head up and beat this chapter, take out Coalhole, and hopefully end the chapter sooner rather than later. If you like my content, please upvote and follow, or like and subscribe depending on your platform, and while you're at it, have a great and glorious day gaming.